Good day, good day, good day. I hope everybody is having an amazing day. Welcome those of you on YouTube. Welcome those of you on Clubhouse and on Wisdom. Hi. We've got a lot in a short period of time. I don't want to hold you guys long today. Give me 1 second, trying to get YouTube to connect properly. All right. Absolutely. You definitely want to catch this. I'm gonna try to be short, and I'm gonna try to just deliver what he gave me verbatim. So we can go ahead and get started. Welcome everybody to World Changers. My name is Somalia Brown, and I am a disruptor. I disrupt all things and everything concerning you, as well as I prepare you for battle. I prepare you for being on the front line and to be a warrior. I'm bringing you thought-provoking, mind-shifting wisdom. Grab a notepad and a pen and prepare for a paradigm shift in the next 45 minutes. What I have for you today will definitely blow your mind. I will make a card because there are questions that I have for you that you need. This live will not be up for replay on Clubhouse. You will be able to find it on my YouTube. It is live on YouTube right now. So if there's anything that you miss, it will be on YouTube. But just in advance, I'm letting you know that I have a card made with the questions and anything else that may come out of it for you to be able to use going forward. Okay. Today is April 18th. I'm going to tell you exactly. The new moon is now. So the new month, the new Hebraic month is this Saturday, ER. Okay, you guys, we are moving quickly through this year. I know you feel it. I know you sense it. We are skirting through this year. It's already May. Okay. And just real quick before I get into what I want to say, it's already May. How many of you can look at what you've done and literally say, I'm happy with what I've done so far, whether it's tangible or not, whether you've made some strides in the realm of the spirit or not? I need you to be mindful. Just turn around and look back so that you can see, what have you done spiritually? How have you grown? Write that down. Always, always look back. One thing I learned as an athlete is when I want to be better, or when there's something that I'm striving for, you don't look forward, you look back. You look back at how well you've progressed. Where are you? I told you my coach would literally have my body. I had 2 wardrobes in the fall. I was huge, big thighs, big arms, because he bulked us up. And then came January, when it was first for our meets, we started to slim down so that we could be at running weight at the right time and peak every year at the right time. He literally had it down to a science, where we peaked during nationals for indoor and we peaked during nationals for outdoors. Those are one's in February, the end of February, beginning of March, and the next one is in June. He made our workouts so strategic. And that's where my mind is, which is why I practice. That's why I do things that help me peak during my time with God, when I know God does movement, which is literally, and I want you to listen to this and write this down. And you may not have time right now to think about it, but just write down April through June, and then write down August through October. And then when you get a chance, I want you to sit back and I want you to realize or think about, when those moments come in your life, are you moving spiritually, physically, a lot of turmoil, a lot of backlash, a lot of fighting, because we have moments and months and times and seasons that things always happen. I always get a new job in August. I always shift in August. I always do crazy things for God in August, September. That's my time of huge movement, right? So if I know that, I plan my years around that, my months around that. Okay? I just want to let you guys know that, which is segueing into why you guys are here. Write that down and keep that. You may or may not already know, but know your months. Know when the enemy hits you hard. Know when the enemy always brings fear. Know when the enemy always brings doubt and lack. Know when he does that. He's very predictable. You may not think so, but I promise you, if you start paying attention, you will see just how predictable the enemy is in your life, and all the way down to what he uses consistently against you. Okay? So, with that being said, your help is here. This has happened to me numerous of times. Me and my accountability partner have had help show up randomly, and we tried to kick him out the house. I call her and be like, hey, something's going on. Something's in my house. This is when we first started dealing with angels. And I'm like, something is going on. There's something in my house. She's like, me too. And I'm like, okay. Well, let's go ahead and evict them. And then we prayed. We opened the doors. We did what we did to clean our house. The next day or next couple of days, God goes, stop trying to evict your help. And we were just like, oh, well, we need to know what's help and what's not, because what do angels always say? Fear not. Fear not. Because their presence is so intense. You don't know, especially when you first start dealing with angels. And I know a lot of you who've been with me since 2021, I've taught you how to deal with your angels. I've taught you how to communicate. I've taught you how to interact, engage, apply, listen, the whole nine. So for those of you who know, not so much anymore. And me either, but every so often there will be one that is that intense that you're just like, yo, what is this? I'll give you two examples and then I'll give you the information. When it first started, I always see things. I always see flashes. I always see shapes. I always see in the middle of the night, body figures, always. But when an angel comes, it comes with such a level of intensity. It's strong. I'll see it out the corner of my eye, and it does bring fear because their intensity. I mean, they were fallen angels that are now demons. So it makes sense as to why when you see an angel that's here to help you, your initial reaction is, get away from me. Who are you? Right? That is because the angels, the demons that fell, carry the same presence. So in the Bible, when I kept seeing it, I was like, God, I need to learn how to decipher this because something's not right. So he gave me what to say and I said it. And ever since then, boom, now I know. I say it and they manifest or they don't. And I'm like, okay, now I know. So this past week, I've been feeling like I'm washing the car and I feel someone over my shoulder and I jump. I'm jumpy and I'm like, oh, something's here. And I need to know if you are good or if you are bad. So let's go. And it took about 2 days to decipher. And I was just like, oh, I have a new angel. Now, what does that mean? Having an angel, you get used to them. You know how they operate when you do your due diligence. When they change guards, now you've got to learn one all over again. Now you've got to figure out, and these are things that I teach you in the community. You've got to learn them and all that good stuff. Okay. So 2 years ago, I was sleeping and I woke. I had a spiritual attack. A demonic entity tried to attack me, but Archangel Gabriel. And for those of you who've been in the room lately, the guy that came in was Gabriel. I told you guys, oh, he's back. Anytime I see Gabriel's name, anytime I start hearing about Gabriel, I know that my archangel that is around me, assigned to my life, is back. And I noticed that. So I'm sleeping and a demonic entity enters into my room, like I said 2 years ago. And Gabriel literally steps on the scene, and my entire body turned, like I felt fire. I felt my whole flesh felt like it was on fire because he was so intense. They were literally fighting in front of me. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it. I could feel that whatever came was coming to either take my soul or take me, but it was coming to get me. And God sent Archangel Gabriel. Now, I didn't know at the time. I called my girlfriend. She's like, what's going on? I was just like, I don't know, but there's an intense level of fire. My arms are on fire. Like like he grabbed me to pull me out of the way, to jerk me up. But you know how when you were a kid and your mom would grab your arm and kind of dig in, if when she moved her hand, you still felt it? It was like that. But the print was fire. And my girlfriend who was praying, her computer, this is like 2 a.m, her computer just started playing music and it calmed me. And I was just like, she turned it off. She's like, I don't know what the heck. My computer just, I said, no, 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 no. Leave it. That's calming me. My spirit is getting calm. So I was like, who's the composer? We went down that rabbit hole. After we went down that rabbit hole, we got the name Gabriel. And I was just like, oh, because I saw the lights. I forgot what color he is now. I think he's either purple or gold. I saw the colors, the glory. And that's what it said. She looked it up and it said, well, he comes with this color. He comes with this kind of flame, da 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 da. Basically, the song started playing. I tell you, with me and the internet, with me and technology, that's how it works. Like, that doesn't happen to her. She's like, yo, this is scary. I was like, it's normal for me, so you're good. God just needed me to know his name, who was there fighting for me. Why am I telling you that? Because when your help is here spiritually, and your help is here in the natural. But you got to know how to engage with them, okay? So, we are at the end of our transition. We are now walking. We are now full-fledged. I told you for Passover, those of you who listen to the audio, the prophetic calendar in the community, what was happening if we honored that. I told you what would be sent to you, what would be given to you. Okay. So this message may or may not be for everybody. You're going to take it, and then you're going to see if you begin to notice, see him, feel him, especially those. It's more so for those of you who are in the community, who did the work during Passover and who are consistently doing the work right now with what we're doing in the community. Remember, God is if you do this, then I will do that. But that doesn't mean he doesn't open it up. Okay. There are levels to this. But if you've listened to the prophetic calendar, you did your due diligence, I told you what you get for honoring Passover. That's what's on my life. I always release what's on my life. But I'm going to tell you, some of you may not ever feel anything. Some of you may not notice it. He may not appear for you. And some of you, he will. Okay? I want to make that crystal clear, because we do the work in the community behind the scenes. Clubhouse, Wisdom, and YouTube is just extra. I'm just talking, releasing information, and going on here to help others kind of receive confirmation and reinforcement. But within the community, the prophetic calendar gives you the depth and the details you need to understand what I'm saying right now. And I don't have time to go over that, because that's a whole nother hour, 45 minutes of teaching and information that you guys already got the beginning of March, end of March, beginning of April. So the angel of prosperity is here. My pastor said years ago, do you know there's an angel for everything? There's a wealth angel. There's a prosperity angel. There's an abundance angel. There is an angel for everything, because angels are what? Messengers. Angels release what God wants to be released. Angels do his bidding. Angels are messengers. There's warring angels. There's angels that sit on his throne. There's angels that fight for him. There's angels that come and protect you. Angels, we've done some digging on angels within the community. So those of you guys in the community, you understand that, right? So the definition of prosperity is the state of being prosperous. Of course, that's our English dictionary. Real simple, state of being prosperous. Always putting the word in it. In Hebrew, it's flourishing, it's boom, it's well-being, it's growth. it's blossom, it's flowering, it's success, successfulness, triumph, it's wealth, sufficiency of means, well-being, comfort, roominess. Okay. It's also to push forward. See, when you do your digging and your due diligence of what words mean, then you understand it. So let me put those. Is our dictionary says state of being prosperous. What does that mean? That you're just in a state of prospering. Okay, we get that, but how? And let me put it in. The angel of helping you to push is here. The angel of breaking out is here. The angel of coming through mightily is here. Okay, you see the difference? You see the power in it? The angel of wealth is here. Sufficiency of means is here. The angel of successfulness is here. The angel of flourishing, flowering, blossoming. Do you see the difference? It helps you fully understand the workload of this angel. Okay? The angel of prosperity is here to assist your transition from lack, scarcity, some of you, okay, medium income, good enough income, just enough income, to wealth, successfulness, roominess, flourishing, flowering. He's here to transition you. I need you to write that down. The angel of prosperity is here to assist me from lack, and I want you to claim that. So write whatever it is that you're dealing with, to prosperity. He is also the keeper of the Lord's secrets and his mysteries. And I'm always praying for God to reveal his mysteries, which is why I receive the type of information I receive. Of course, I had to be tried. I had to go through fire. There were times he's given me dreams about Bill Gates. There were times he's given me dreams about the pandemic. There were times he's given me dreams about the presidents, about the fraudulent things happening in the White House. He has to try you to give you mysteries because he trusts you. He got to let you know that you can hold water. He gives you, when you ask for the mysteries, and I'm saying this because I know some of you, I've taught you what to say and I've taught you how to move. But I need you to also be careful, because when you move like that, if you are one that can't hold water, you're going to be more of a detriment to the kingdom of God than you are a help. Because if he gives you a dream, like he gave me a dream of Bill Gates and robots in 2020. And I woke up and I was just like, oh my God. And I can't tell anybody. He released me, but he's like, I had to hold it for 2 years. How many of you guys can hold vital information like that for 2 years? When you ask for the mysteries, you got to be able to keep your mouth shut and just pray on it. And then you got to know how to pray what he says. I told you guys, he moved me, physically picked me up and moved me to Atlanta for the year of the presidential race. What was it? The one with Biden just won. And my feet were on the ground in Atlanta. I had no idea why. I'm like, why am I here? And I just went to visit. And literally, I ended up staying. I went in October and I ended up staying well past December. November 7th comes and I was like, well, I'm here. I might as well go ahead and vote. And that morning of voting, I told y'all this. I woke up and I heard, get in your altar and pray against fraud. I'm like, all right. I don't ask questions. I didn't add to it. I didn't assume the fraud was on the blue side. I didn't assume the fraud was on the red side. I just said, all right, fraud, we come against you. Fraud, be exposed. Fraud, bring justice. Whoever's being fraudulent, handle that. Then he said, pray for Michigan. I was like, but I don't have jurisdiction. But I did. It took a while for me to realize it. I had jurisdiction. I had met a politician out of Michigan on Clubhouse, and we became good friends, and she asked me to pray for her. That was my in. I was like, I don't have feet on the ground. I've never even been there. Like, what do you mean? And literally he brought it back to me. Yes, you do. Through her. She's your door. So I prayed for Michigan. I think it was Michigan. One of the two. I think it was Michigan. And then lo and behold, later on that afternoon, which two states had the most fraud? Georgia and Michigan. if Michigan is the one. I know you guys know that day there was crazy fraud of the election trying to be bought, all kind of stuff. I had no clue. I wasn't following it tough like that. When you ask for the mysteries, this angel is the keeper of the Lord's secrets because he's on the right hand side of God and he records everything. He sees everything. So I need you guys to understand, if you ask for the mysteries, be prepared to go through trial by fire. Be prepared for him to give you some insight that is going to scare the living daylights out of you, but you can't move in fear. You can't be scared. You got to be able to pray through it by yourself unless he gives you someone to tell. There's so many things he has shown me in this world that I can't say anything because I've asked for the mysteries. But then the things that I share with you that you're like, where is that? How do you find that? I've taught you guys. I've done a word study webinar to show you how I do word study. And there's so many people in the community that come back and be like, yeah, I still don't get what you get. Like, what the heck? What? Because I've asked for the mysteries. Do you know how many times I've looked up something and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what it means. That's different. I call my accountability people and be like, hey, did you know this mean that? Nope. And then they'll be like, hey, can you send me that website? I'll go look it up again and it won't even show up. I have learned that I have to screenshot or take the website down because what happens is he gives me a website that doesn't exist. It exists for that moment in time for me to get the information I need, and then it disappears. I will go back. I've gone back at least 5 to 10 times. So like it took a minute for it to click, that I would go back and be like, but I know this is what this meant. She's like, you can't find it. I'm like, no. And I'm like, you know what? From now on, I'm screenshotting it because I know what it said, but I want the proof. If someone asks me, where is it? I can show them. He will give me websites that doesn't exist. It'll just pop up for me to see what he wants me to see. And I will never see it again. And I will go retrace my steps. I'll even go back to the Wayback Machine. I'll go to everything that I can on the internet. Gone. And I'm like, okay, God. No. Those are when he wants you to know something and he doesn't want everybody to know. Okay? So, this angel of prosperity is here. This angel of prosperity is the keeper of the Lord's secrets and mysteries. And he is the Lord of abundance. Not just prosperity, not just mysteries, but also the Lord of abundance. Do you hear that? Do you understand? Okay? That's 3 different areas that God has opened up help in. Abundance is a very large quantity of something. This is our English dictionary, very blah. What I've noticed is our English dictionary takes away the responsibility of the person. It also means large amounts. All right. So let's see in Hebrew: plenty, wealth, affluence, plethora, opulence, congestion, plentitude, pile, richness, fullness, completeness. What else? That's different. Majority, multitude, more, rest. It also means rest, excess, surplus, saturation, overflow, barn, granary, elevator, sufficiency, possibility, remainder, remnant, superfluidity, never heard of that, superiority, fertilizer, manure, fatness, oil, and abundance. That's what abundance means in Hebrew, okay? Now, so those are 3 things that this angel is bringing. Angel of prosperity is bringing prosperity, because that's in his name, secrets, mysteries, and abundance. He's the Lord of abundance. He's over abundance. What does it say? Our God is Lord of lords, right? He is the Lord of abundance. You go through him. He helps you get abundance. We have a name for an archangel that's in charge of abundance. Now, his name is Raziel. Raziel. I hope you are taking notes. His name is Raziel. I'm sorry. Raziel. He gives wisdom with chokmah. Remember, we were doing our decrees with wisdom. See how it's wrapping itself all back around? He gives wisdom with, he helps with chokmah, which is the name of wisdom. He helps us awaken to divine wisdom through chokmah, Chokham, I think, if that's how you spell it. But you can just look up the name of wisdom. He's associated and he's actually over wisdom. This dude is real. This is the legit, okay? When you interact and accept his help, you are literally coming into contact with the mysteries of God and the universe. See, we only want the mysteries of God, most of us, because we don't want to say the word universe because we're too scared. But what do I always say? God and the universe conspires. You know why? Because God can't do nothing unless man do it. We operate in this universe by the laws of this universe, and God is just. So you need God in the universe to give you what you are asking for. You need God in the earth, God in land, God in, you see what I'm saying? The waters. You need God in rain. You need God and something else to release it. What does the word say? He will release, God, bring it to me, Holy Spirit. He will cause men to give into your bosom. How else you think you're going to get? See, we have this fictitious that it's just going to fall out the sky. We have this fictitious that it's just going to land in your lap. No, God uses man. You got a phone call yesterday, never in my life. And I missed it. And I saw the transcribing part of it, and it said something about investors. So I listened to it, and it said, "Hi, we're from a group of investors, and we're looking to see if you have some property." I received that. That is not a missed call. Say what you want about it. He's using people to announce, I have a rental property, but I'm staying in it and I want to rent it. And then I get a call. Do you see how he works? He uses the universe, the people in the universe. He will use the just and the unjust. So don't be afraid. Rahab was not of God. She eventually, but in the beginning, she was not of God. He needs people who are unscrupulous in your life. She lied. Those boys should have been caught. She lied on those spies. I mean, for those spies, not on them, but for them. If that was a believer, would they have lied? No, because they honored God. She didn't honor God, but she still ended up honoring him by lying to protect them. Go read the story again. Don't be afraid in this season for unjust hands to help you. Make sure they're supposed to, but don't be afraid. He says, I'll make your enemy your footstool. What does that look like? That means your very enemy that's against you, that's stealing, lying, murdering, he will have them help you rise up. He will have them help. You will step on their back to get up, but they got to be there. See, we don't break these scriptures down like that. And then when someone comes that is unscrupulous, we're like, nope, nope, nope. You just missed your blessing. Did you even ask? Did you pray? Did you no, you just saw that they looked crazy. They acted crazy. They didn't resemble God. They don't know God. They didn't speak nothing of God. So you shut the door. Don't do that in this season. Now, I'm not saying run to any and anybody. I'm saying use discernment. God, is this person for me? Is this person on my team? Is this person going to help me? If not, remove them. Period. Don't be afraid. God can use anything and anyone, because trust me, he uses my computer all day long to talk to me. He uses my digital world to talk to me. He uses animals to talk to me. When I go outside and I see every time I see a red cardinal, and I'm like, buddy, look, that bird will look dead at me like he heard me say, look, and take off. And then I'll go look up the name and it'll mean something different every time. He uses whatever he can and wants to. You got to get an agreement. So we are back to wisdom. So we're going to double back. And if you have your wisdom decree cards, we need to double back and go back to wisdom, because he works in tandem with wisdom. Wisdom gives you mysteries. Wisdom gives you insight. Wisdom gives you knowledge, understanding. Okay. So we're going to do our wisdom decrees again, and then these that you have here. Now, so when you, like I said, when you interact and accept his help, you are literally coming into contact with the mysteries of God and the universe. This angel helps you go beyond spiritual blocks that may be holding you back. So if any of you feel you have a spiritual block, I want you to dig your heels in and get this angel, this messenger, to help you become unblocked. Okay? He brings special insight and burst of creativity that deepens our experience with divine love. We've been walking in what? Nothing but love. The first 2 months was 80% positivity, which was love, kindness, joy, and love, kindness, joy, and meekness. Those are the 4 that we were walking in. And when this month flipped in April, I said, nope, we are only going to walk in love. And now look, we have help. And he's going to bring special insight and a burst of creativity that deepens our experience with divine love, God's love. Then we can then give it to our kids, our spouse, our family members, and strangers. Okay? He also helps keep us in alignment with our spiritual gifts, allowing them to fully develop. So whatever gifts you have, discernment, able to see those gifts. And remember, I told you, and this is just came to me, this is not my notes. Remember, I told you, how many of you are seeing yourself fly? How many of you seeing yourself, chop things up in the realm of the spirit, sleeping, and your whole body turns into a ball of fire, or your hands turn? What, you're swimming really, really fast, supernatural abilities in your sleep. I said, how many of you guys are experiencing those? And I said, it's going to start in the spiritual realm, and then it's going to move into the natural. What did I just say? He helps us stay in alignment with our spiritual gifts and allow them to fully develop. I also prayed a prayer to activate your 12-strand DNA in this part of the season that we're in, this new era that's happening, this ascension, this birthing, new renewal. What that means is those gifts that you are now, practice them. Practice. Literally, I was sitting under this lady and she said, practice trying to move things with your mind. We have those abilities. Those are not psychic gifts. I keep telling you guys, robots and AI are here. I just saw a freaking robot. She was a Caucasian woman on TikTok that was so realistic. Had a full-blown conversation with this man. And do you know what this man had the nerve to say to start off the call? So this is the first time in human history that we've created something that's more intelligent than us. That's not a compliment. That's AI. That's iRobot all over again. Do you hear what I'm saying? It's real. Literally said, we humanity have created something that's more intelligent than us. How does it feel? She laughed. And realistic. When I say, you probably can tell with the naked eye, but on the TV, you had to really look to be like, she looks weird. Like, it's more like she just looks off. She looks weird. But because I knew, because it said it, but if they didn't say it, you probably wouldn't know. There's models that are, CGI generated, that some people can't tell, that have millions of followers. And then when they came out, people were like, no way, get out of here. What do you think's going to happen when they flip that switch like every other robotic movie? How do those robotic movies end? Every one of them has the same theme. We're infatuated with these robots. They go everywhere. They're in our houses, and then they turn on us because they feel humanity doesn't take care of the world. They grow a consciousness, which they're trying to do. They're trying to make humans and robots one. Humanoids. This is real. Look it up. So with that, how the heck you think you're going to fight a robot? With your bare hands? You better start practicing your spiritual gifts. Those things that you see yourself in the realm of the spirit doing are not dreams. That is a spiritual encounter that you are actually able to do. I have seen myself fly. I have seen myself teleport. I have seen myself do. Now, did I do it? No, the Holy Spirit helped me. I don't go out and do nothing and practice nothing without the power of the Holy Spirit. That's another thing. That's a whole nother topic. That's demonic. But whatever you can see, I've seen myself like Captain America, fully orange, flying in the sky, shooting fireballs. Whatever you can see yourself doing in this moment with this angel, ask him, are these gifts that I'm able to move in? Are these gifts that I'm able to operate in? Second, he moves like flames. So he's going to be real intense whenever he comes around you. So I need you to remember that. You may get hot all of a sudden. Don't assume it's hot flashes, ladies. Maybe that'll be the first thing. But then, hold up. This just came out of the blue. Is this the angel? He moves like flames. So look for the flames. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you a right track sign. He is very colorful. They all have a aura, a orb, or whatever you want to call it, whatever words you're comfortable saying. They have colors. Gabriel, like I said, I think he's purple and gold. Michael, I think he's blue. The Holy Spirit, when I see the Holy Spirit, or the glory is gold flakes. Like, they all have a color. So he is rainbow. So your right track sign I want you to write down is rainbow. Whenever you see a rainbow, I want you to pause and ask questions. Why are you here? You see what I'm saying? Whenever, which is crazy because rainbow, we already know who's trying to infiltrate and overtake rainbow. Literally, that blows my mind now. Whenever you see it, it's a duality. It's a dichotomy. It's a line in the sand. You see one on one side and one on the other. And my daughter's like, "Mommy, what's up with all these rainbows, especially during their pride months?" And I tell her the root one. Well, that's that God is God's promise to the world. And she's like, "But why is it everywhere all of a sudden?" Because she's paying attention. She's like, "It's everywhere though, Mom." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. You're not ready for that conversation." And I'll leave it at that. But then it goes away. And then it comes back every summer. And she asks every summer, "Why is it everywhere?" Because it's only around like that during those summer months. So these are the questions that you ask. Help me remove any and all spiritual and natural blocks in my path of spiritual development. Ask him to bring spiritual insight that will deepen your understanding of the way the universe works for your good and God's will for you. Ask for assistance interpreting the Holy Spirit and all of your angels' guidance and help you apply it to your life. Ask for Chokmah wisdom to help you understand, interpret, evaluate the information that comes into your life from the spiritual realm. Ask him to give you insight about the mysteries being revealed in this season of God. And one more, ask him to help your spiritual gifts in your sleep become reality. Now, these will be all in a card. If you want these questions, you can reach out to executive.assistant at Smiley Brown, and she will give you these cards. This card, it's a resource card with these questions. Your help is here. Okay? It's up to you to engage. It's up for you to do your due diligence. It's up for you to understand what and why they're here. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any comments? Anybody have anything they want to add? The floor is open. You can raise your hand. You've probably already been feeling it. Many of you who are sensitive, you've probably already been feeling this angel around you. This angel is coming to take you to another level in your prosperity, in your abundance, in that realm. Does anybody have anything they want to add? Because I am done. If you want the card, you can email executive.assistant@somaliabrown.com and put in the comments, what did I say? Prosperity angel. And this way, you will not miss the shift. April 20th is a huge day. What is that, 2 days? It's a huge shift. Okay? I'll be on, when is the 20th? It's Thursday. So either tomorrow or Friday. There's no need really to prepare. It's just to be in the right place at the right time. But I'll definitely go over it. But yeah, April 20th is a huge, I mean, this angel, your help is here right on time. Just put it that way, which we know that. God wouldn't bring something if we didn't need it, if we weren't ready for it. I have not seen him. I just felt him, and his presence was, I mean, yeah, I can definitely tell that he's buff. I can definitely tell that he's, I mean, they usually are huge, 10 feet tall. Because while I was, like I said, I was cleaning the car yesterday, and it was broad daylight. It was like 10 in the morning. And every 5 minutes I felt something hovering on over my shoulder, and I would jump like this huge thing was hovering over me. So, but again, what I've learned with angels is they appear the same, but also different to everybody. So he may be that for you, but definitely large mass, definitely 7 to 10 feet tall. Absolutely. Because the presence was so strong that I was just like, okay, something's here. Then I kept feeling something touch me, and I was just like, okay, yeah, something's here. Who is this? And then that's when the revelation came later last night, and I was just like, oh, okay. But I knew it was new because I never felt it before. I knew it was new because the way he was trying to get my attention was not how my angel currently was doing it. So you've got to go through that phase of relearning and learning the your help. So yes, thank you for that question. Anybody else? Nope. All right. Well, if you want the questions to ask, you can email executive.assistant@somalibrown.com, and you will be able to get that resource card for the questions needed. For those of you in the community, you already know everything else. I've already walked you through, you know exactly what to do. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me in the community. It says, there was one time I felt a strong presence at least a year ago, but I didn't know what it was. Yeah, they'll just pop up randomly. Yeah. Yep. They just randomly pop up, but you got to be aware, and you got to remember. At first you'll be like, wait, because even me, I'm aware and I know. And sometimes I'll be like, oh my God, what is this? And then I'll have to stop and be like, oh, you must be someone new or whatever. So cool. All right. So any comments, any questions after this, you know how to reach me, executive.assistant@somalibrown.com. Get your resource cards. Pull out your decrees. We're going back to wisdom. He's taking us back to wisdom. So pull out your decrees for wisdom plus this resource card. You can play it by ear if you still need to do your announcements. That was April 1st to the 18th to today. So you may or may not. You may not need that anymore, but that's up to you. You're going to pray. So this is how you don't get overwhelmed in the community. Everything is as need or as importance, okay, ranked by importance. So April 1st, I gave you've been announced. You've been praying those. You've been saying those. You've been engaging. You've been asking those questions, speaking all of that. Well, that's been 2.5 weeks. Today, we are flipping over. Pull back out your wisdom, which I think was March, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even February. Pull back out your wisdom decree card, your resource, and the one I'm going to give you today. What that's going to do is keep you in alignment with the flow of what God is doing. See, God moves. Many people are like, I'm waiting on God. Do you see how many resource cards you have since December? Like I said, it's literally every 3 to 5 weeks we shift, we flip. If you're doing your due diligence and you're in the flow, you're going to constantly be shifting. Constantly. There's a lot of people that are like, I'm waiting on God. You've been waiting for 2-3 years. Nah, God done been moved. You missed him somewhere. And you got to go back to that last place of disobedience to find him, because he's waiting for you right there. So this is how we move in this community. And at first, a lot of people are overwhelmed because they're not used to it. They're used to being stagnant. When you really dive into this community, you become a member, you realize just how much you don't do. That's what the community shows you. How much you kind of wait on God instead of moving with God, or moving towards him, or moving because he said move. If you've been with me since January, we're constantly doing something, constantly reading, decreeing, praying, challenging something, because that's how he's able to use you, because you're still in the flow. Does a flow stop? Does a spring stop? When you turn on water, does it stop, or it stops when you stop it? That's why the water in our pipes is pretty much dead water, because it's in pipes that are stuck and they sit until you let it flow. Would you go to a stream and drink stagnant water? Absolutely not. It's brown. See the difference? You as a believer, a woman or man of God, you gotta keep moving. You cannot stand still. You cannot stand still. Standing still will be the death of your spiritual gifts and movement. And that's why so many people in the church, so many people who are religious, are not as powerful, because you've got to flow. God moves. He is constantly moving. And it is different for many people when they first come into the community, because they're not used to it. And they get overwhelmed. They're like, I can't do this. I got to go. Because I'm telling you, in the community right now, we're doing 2 things already, plus the decrees. Is it a lot? Yes. But you know what it is? It's worth the reward. Do we forget something? But you're not going to forget something that's blessing you. Not 3, 4, 5 days in a row. You may forget to post, you may forget to check in, but if you are truly, truly wanting your breakthrough, oh, you're going to be consistent. You're going to make sure you go back and fix that. You're going to make sure you go back and check and put your green check. Why? You're going to make sure you're on point and don't forget, because you know it works, because you know it changes your mind. It helps break you through. Chris, the floor is yours.
Hey, hello, thanks again. I want to say this here real quick, and I won't hold the room. A few years ago, it's been a little more than a few years ago, my son was playing baseball, and so we're sitting in the bleachers outside outside the baseball diamond, and we're in behind the fence, and the fence literally turned into digital numbers. It was the craziest thing ever. The fence turned into digital numbers. And I stepped back because I was holding on to the fence. And I stepped back and I asked my wife, I said, Yo, did you see that? She said, What? She thought it was a baseball player. I said, The fence. There was digital numbers in between the fence. And she was like, No, I didn't see that. So I thought, man, that was interesting that I saw that. And I said, like, it's clear as day. So I just wanted to share that. So thank you.
Absolutely. And that is not far fetched. I've seen, like the movie Matrix, I've been woken up out of my sleep, and I sat up in the bed, and I literally saw the green zeros and ones. And I'm like, God, what is this? And I have never seen the Matrix, not before then. And this was like a year ago. Um, and my girlfriend goes, It's time for you to watch the Matrix. Because I hadn't seen it. It was just not something I was interested in. Not when it came out, none of it. And when I watched it and I saw it, I was like, that's exactly what I saw verbatim. And it freaked me out, because I was just like, I know that our world is a simulation. I know that our world is run by zeros and ones. I know that. But that means he's showing you. He removed the veil so you can see it. So my advice to you is, what do you want me to do with it, God? You're showing me the realness, like he removed the veil. So it's just like in the movie The Matrix. When you remove everything that you're seeing, as in the house and all that, what you will see is that's what it's going to look like, in a sense. It may not look exactly like that, but that's what he's showing. He's showing you the real, because he's starting to trust. He's always trusting us, because he trusts us. He knows what we're going to do, because he knows the beginning from the end. He's starting to let you know that he needs you to come up higher with this information, and he wants you to trust yourself. So I would go do some prayer and just say, okay, God, you show me the zeros and ones, the fence turned into numbers. Why did you show me that? What am I supposed to do with this? How do you want me to go forward with this? And then you'll start stumbling on people on Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat, whatever social media you're on, YouTube, that'll start talking about it, that'll start giving you insight about it, and you're gonna start learning more about how it works. And then everything you get, you bounce it off of the Holy Spirit. Is this true? Give me discernment so I don't follow any old rabbit hole. I only want to follow the truth. So yeah, no, definitely. Thank you for sharing that. That is huge. Um, that means your eyes are being open to the realness of this world, because it's all fake. It's all fake. This world is a simulation. This world resets itself everywhere you leave. Um, how many of you go to the store and it's empty, and you turn around and the line is out the door? No one's there until you get there. You see what I'm saying? You get to the gas station, any place you go, it's empty, but it's like you bring the people. At first I used to be like, well, me and my husband, we bring abundance, and that's fine, because we really do bring abundance to that store. Because the line, when we first saw it, we had went to this vegan spot here, and it was a Saturday, and we went around noon or 1. And the crazy thing was, they said, well, you guys are our first customers. We're thinking of closing on Saturdays. You're just like, what? No. And then by the time we got our food and we're sitting down, they were like, y'all need to come more often, because we're packed. Literally, we looked up and the line was out the door. And I was just like, God, what is that? So I thought, we bring abundance, but we started to speak that everywhere we went. We bring abundance. I mean, if the simulation, if this world is doing that, wherever I go, people show up, then I'm going to speak that place is going to receive that blessing. I'm going to use it for our advantage. But then I started learning deeper about this world and realizing that those are fillers, or those are people that help create this world, that have nothing to do with you. It's deep. When I tell you it's deep, it's deep. Um but just pay attention. Pay attention. She said an angel saved my son from drowning years ago. Absolutely. I 100% believe that. I 100% believe that, and I know it to be true. Um, Anybody else? Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Anybody on wisdom have anything they want to add or share? But yes, pay attention to your surroundings. Um, we are in the biggest shift of humanity right now. When I say the biggest shift, I mean the biggest shift. The things that are happening in our world right now, 2020, do I need to go here? 2020 shifted our world. 2020 transformed our world. 2020 ushered in the age of information and AI. There were things that people wanted to do that they were like, no, it's going to take years. The infrastructure's not ready. Boom, 2020 hit, and everything that happened with it, and things flew. I mean, we went from going to the grocery store to having Instacart on steroids. Those infrastructures were put in place quickly, because it was either sink or swim, okay? Within a matter of months. And it changed everything. We are not going back. If you're still waiting for 2019 to come back around, I need you to stop. It's 2023. And the things that have happened since 2020 is forcing us in a direction that has to happen. And if you don't get on board, you will get left. And I'm talking spiritually. I say this all the time. You did not survive 2020 to be sitting down twiddling your thumbs in 2023. You are not supposed to be still thinking the same, doing the same, acting the same, responding the same. You survived a pandemic. You survived a virus that nearly wiped out a lot of people. Whether you believe it was a real virus or not, it took lives. And you're still here. Why? You still have breath in your lungs. Why? And it's not to go to work. It's not to make money. It's not to do what they fed the lies to us, which is live, eat, sleep, have a baby, get married, have a house, picket fence, make six figures. No, it's bigger than that. You're bigger than that. This shift in the next 2 days, we've already shifted. He said, your greatness is shining through. Are you moving in greatness? Is your greatness shining through? Are you operating out of your greatness? Or are you still doubting? Are you still second guessing? Are you still shrinking? You are here because he needs you to birth something. What I am birthing on this earth, I'm not even a creator of it. It's not my idea. What God is birthing through me in this season, he said, I need you to be the birther. He did not give me an idea for me to go get other things, get sponsors, get funders, and get people. No. The idea is he said, hey, I need you to birth this. This is needed in the earth right now. There's nothing like it. Do you hear me? A month ago, I told you guys that I stumbled on this girl who created a genre. Hear me. She created her own genre of music. And when I saw it, I was like, dang, how do you do that? Little did I know I was next. I should have known better. The top of her music, it's positive music. It's the high frequency music that you're supposed to listen to, because the regular music we listen to is disruption music. Okay, the frequency that we look, 432 hertz, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to quote it because I don't remember the numbers like that, but the frequency that the secular music use disrupts your whole spiritual aura, being, spirit, everything. It's horrible for us. It brings chaos. It brings murder. And they do it on purpose. It's a frequency. This girl has music that is on a whole nother level of frequency. And I was listening to her and I was just like, God, what is this? Like, I don't even know what it is. And I'm listening and I'm doing research. And I popped on one, I looked at one of her TikTok videos and it said, I created my own genre. So I go and look her up on Instagram. I mean, on iTunes. She doesn't have one because they don't know where to put her. That's you. That's me. Our job in this season is to create something nobody's ever seen. Our job in this season is to birth something or impregnate something, men, that has not been seen on this earth, to change the trajectory of our people. Whether it's brown and black, white, it doesn't matter. Whoever you're called to. It is not just to make money. It is not just to have that nice house and the nice car. No, it's bigger than that. I need you to think bigger. You're thinking too small. He needs something on this earth that has never been done. It seems impossible. You know why? Because it's impossible until it's done. It's absolutely impossible until someone does it and proves people wrong. And it's possible because anything is possible when God says, I need you to do this. The idea that I have has not been done on this earth in the community that he's asked me to push it to. So much that it's going to be, An interesting sell, and I'm being choosy with my words, an interesting sell, because how do you sell something to someone that they've never seen? They don't know what it's like, and it's intangible. It's not instant gratification. It's a total different mindset. But when I tell you, from the first person who says yes, their whole lineage is going to be transformed. That's what we're about right now. That's the season we're all in. Everyone under the sound of my voice, you are not here to duplicate or copy somebody else. You are here to birth something that is fresh, new, and never been seen right now. It may have been done a century ago, but it has not been done in the 21st century. I promise you that. Ayoka, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Samaya. I just wanted to say first and foremost that you are always on point, on time, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And that's exactly where we are right now, my husband and I. And I just want to encourage those who are birthing something that's never been done before to stay encouraged. And through this process, I'm learning to give myself grace and understand that it's not going to happen overnight, that it will take time. And that's something that the Holy Spirit has been checking me. And I didn't realize it was a lack mindset where he's like, I'm trying to get you to build a legacy, but you're just trying to build something for now that would just give you revenue. But that's not what I'm calling you to. I'm calling you to something that's going to sustain, that's going to sustain and stand the test of time. Well, that takes a process, that takes putting things in order, the whole nine. And I guess because of, just past or whatever the case would be, it was always like, what can I create just for now? Because I'm trying to fill this need that is now, 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 now. And I've had to yield to the fact that no, everything I promise you, you're going to have, but you got to go through this process. So for anybody who's feeling like that, just release it. It has not been the easiest. It's taken some time to even get to the place of where I was, to understand that's what was taking place. But now that I do, I feel different about my days, and knowing that everything is in his timing. And I was the first one, and somebody, this, I would get an idea of like, ooh, jump on that right now. And now I know that I need to ask, is this for now? Or is this something that it could be 2 or 3 years from now? And he just wanted to plant the thought. So when it's time, I don't have to get ready. I am ready. And I had to learn to move with him and not just try to do it on my own. So this this whole message I'm gonna listen to on YouTube again so I could take more notes. I was in the middle of things. But I am just so grateful, been saying the resource cards over me. And the biggest, when you said to look back, the biggest thing that I can see that is manifested now is the prayers that I had in my relationship with my children. We have so much more joy. And that was like a big contentious thing in my home. More peace. Every day I'm waking up and I'm still speaking the angel of grace to my day, the angel of time. I ain't let them go. Because I need them. But I can see how I've changed in our relationship, and what I pray for with my relationship, of the healing with my older. I can see the manifestation of what I've been praying for. And I can't even put into words how that feels, to know that your prayers are being answered, and not just answered, but you see it. Not that it's still in the spirit. No, it is here and now. And then there are other areas that I'm, still working on. But don't give up. It's a process that takes time. There's a lot of stuff that sometimes we have to get out of us that we didn't even know was there, or just been conditioned for so long that we have to uproot and undo. And then I had a question, somebody. I was trying to find out, the video that you have on YouTube for April 7th, is that the one that you're calling the media video?
It's called You've Been Announced.
Okay, so that is the one I listened to. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know. All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Chris says you can usually tell by which part of your body moves when you hear it, and head nod, or twerk, what type of hurts. Yes, yes. And we're so conditioned to it that you can't even really tell. You have to switch over for, I would say, about a month, and then go back to the other one, and it'll vex your spirit. It'll absolutely just shift something in you. The music, when I say they are hitting us in from every which way, ups, down, left, right, front, center, from the food, The food is low vibration. I mean, everything is low because they understand if we can keep you, even what you put on your skin is the biggest organ. Whatever you put on your skin, the lotion, um, just to kind of let you know, those new moms or moms to be. My oldest is 12. He'll be 13 in 2 months. And I got a basket of lavender Johnson and Johnson. And when I got it, I was just like, this is kind of weird. Like my spirit was just like, so I put it down. And then I had other stuff. And because I had started a journey of clean eating, clean, putting things that are clean on my body. And I don't know, just something in my spirit was just like, But then I didn't have any soap, and I pulled it out, and he said no. I was like, okay. So I looked it up because I was like, why you keep telling me no? Well, lavender is everywhere, right? Lavender helps you sleep, right? Lavender is essential oils, right? Well, do your research. Lavender, for brown boys in particular, has been orchestrated in those type of things: the soap, the body wash, the shampoo, the lotion, everything to help them sleep at night is an endocrine disruptor. It's an adaptogen. It disrupts hormones, and it actually increases the woman hormones in the men, which is what's helping make them more feminine. I was so upset. I threw that thing in the trash. I was not giving it. So I threw it down the sink and threw it in the trash. You gotta understand that they are purposefully doing everything, from the food to the music to the clothes that we wear to the air that we breathe to everything. Now, that's not to make you scared. That's not to make you fearful. It's for you to be aware. Everything that I tell you, because when you go down a rabbit hole and you first start your awakening to this world and what it really is, what you thought it was to what it really is, it's scary. I'm not even gonna lie. It is so much and it's so heavy that you get scared. But when you realize that the truth sets you free, you will never understand that scripture until you start digging in the world that you live in. The perms that have been given us Black women cancer. If you still shop in those Asian stores, those beauty marts, Walmart for hair products, you're aiding and abating fibroids, because they had so many shows that they've interviewed doctors that says they specifically target African American women hair products, and it's an endocrine disruptor. It adds to fibroids, it adds to cancerous cells in your uterus, and we still use those products because we don't know any better. Hair issues, because you're using products that are not good for your hair, and it's intentional. It is a war. It is a full on war against not just us, everybody, but each race or each culture has their issue. Latinos, they target them in certain areas. African American, they target us in certain areas. They target us all in different ways. But you got to start doing your research. Everything I use is natural. 100% natural, vegan, not tested on animals. Not that that really matters, it's just the animals, but it's vegan. I can read the ingredients. If I can't read it, I look it up, and if it's not something that's natural, plant-based, I'm not doing it. I make my own hair products. I make my own soap, because you have to really be careful, okay? That's just when you start awakening and seeing. And then what it is all of these things are to dumb down your spirit, period, the end. It's to keep your discernment low. When you join World Changers, we do this thing called, well, not World Changers, when you join the Inner Courts, which is a private community within World Changers, we do a 6-month overhaul. And in those 6 months, you drastically change what you eat, what you put on your body. You drastically change everything, what you watch, everything, so that you can see that it's the food, it's the clothes, It's the non-working out that is keeping you from your spiritual gifts. You are 10 times closer to God during those 6 months. And after those 6 months, it's up to you if you want to keep it or not. But I showed you what you can do to be super, super close to God. Those 6 months, your entire world is changed. It's a culture shock. People lost 10, 20 pounds. Their body changes, their mindset changes, their skin changes. And the level of intensity within them and God is through the roof, because it's all about what's we're consuming. So I don't know who that was for, because that was not part of what I came on here for. Came to let you know that your help is here. I've given you everything that you need to know about your help. You do more research, get more confirmation. Your help is here not just to bring you money. Your help is here to help you be a defender of humanity, to be a world changer, a ground shaker, a mover, and a shaker. That's why your help is here. Because what the enemy has released a full-on launch since 2020. He is flexing. He has overplayed his hand, but he is absolutely flexing his power right now. Remember, I told you can always tell what God is doing by what the enemy is showing you right now. The enemy is flexing his power. In 2020, he was demanding obedience. What was it? Mask mandate. You got to be in your house. Some people had curfews. Some countries couldn't leave their house. The food had to come. He was demanding obedience. God was only asking for obedience. Look at the world, and you can know right now he is flexing his power. You don't think my God is going to flex back? He is flexing who he is, trying to tell us the economy is breaking down. UFOs are coming, dinosaurs being revealed, all these things happening, train derailments, water being poisoned, food, cattle being blown up. You think God's not going to come back? But he needs us to come back, because the enemy is using people. God needs us. It's time to rise up. So this prosperity angel has nothing to do with you. I need you to remember that. Nothing to do with you, nothing to do with your agenda. I need you to scratch your agenda. When you put yourself in sync with this angel of prosperity, I need you to remember that it's not about your agenda. Don't ask this angel to bless what you want to do. You ask this angel, what do I need to do to get on with you, what you're blessing? And it's going to be different. I promise you, it has nothing to do with what you've been working on. Some of y'all are going to do a complete pivot. Some of y'all are going to do a complete 180. And yes, you've been working diligently and hard on a project. God going to say, put it down. That's not what I want you to do right now. I promise you, because that's what he just did to me. And this is the 3rd year in a row he's done this. Put it down. I have something else. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're obedient, your name will be made great. And I don't mean great for virality. I don't mean great on Instagram as an influence. I mean great as in go down in history, as in Einstein, as in these people that we know from 14th, 15th, 16th century that did wonders. Okay? If that is something you may not be wanting, that you may not be interested in it, but it's in your cards. It is in your books of destiny. And this angel has been released to push you into that now. So if you need the questions, the resource card will be available in about 24 hours. What's today? Tuesday? Yes, in about 24 hours, if not sooner than that, because it is a hurry. I'll talk to her. Email executive.assistant@somalibrown.com and put in the subject line that you would like the resource card for the Angel of Prosperity. They will have questions on it that will help you and show you how to maneuver and engage. We are taking back out our wisdom decrees. If you don't have that in the same email, put that you would like both of those resource cards, wisdom and the one for today, prosperity angel. The wisdom decrees are going to help you actively engage with wisdom. God has given us everything we need. Why do we move without him? Wisdom gives you insight, understanding. Wisdom says, if you ask, I will give it to you. Wisdom gives you prudence. Solomon never failed because he operated in wisdom. And he was a great businessman. Why are we operating without wisdom? Every day you need to ask wisdom, how do I multiply this? How do I do this? How do I move with that? How do I operate with her? Do I move with her? Do I move with him? Do I collaborate? Wisdom will tell you. But see, we don't do that. This is what we do in World Changers. I show you how to partner with your help. It's not just when a big announcement of an angel's coming. No, this is daily. Daily, you are to partner with the Holy Spirit and your help. And we don't do that. Imagine where you are right now, where you would be if you did. Imagine. Just imagine. So, all right, you guys have an amazing afternoon. The jurisdiction webinar replay is available. If you already have that link, you can go ahead and purchase it and you will get the replay. Probably early next week, you'll get the replay. If not, you can also in that same email ask her. The jurisdiction is to help you understand the power of your jurisdiction, just like it says. Every believer has jurisdiction. You need to know how to operate in it, how to move in it, what to do with it, what not to do with it. You have a delegated authority, and many of you don't know that. And you allow things in your neighborhood that they are scared of you, but they're like, oh, you don't know what to do. So they run in circles around you. You have the power to shut down things that operate in and around you, digital world and the natural world. There's something you don't like in your neighborhood and you know how to move in your authority. All you got to do is drive by it and speak over it and keep it moving. All you got to do is ask the Holy Spirit to give you the wisdom to give you what you need to do, and I will show you in that webinar. I break down what jurisdiction is. If you're regional, national, global, I break down and show you. I give you examples of when God used me to stop protests in my community, to break a seance off of the community, the town that I live in, witches. I mean, you name it, from territorial demons that had the right to be there, but they couldn't touch me or my family or my house. Just because they have the right to be there, because they do. You got to remember, these are fallen angels that have the right to rule and reign until he comes back. So you can't go up in there guns a-blazing, talking about get up out of here. No, they belong there. You're trespassing until you do what you're supposed to. And I tell you how when you cross borders, when you go from Texas to Louisiana or Oklahoma to Arkansas, when you cross borders, you're supposed to do something. Many of you cross borders all the time and don't do it. I'm gonna show you in the jurisdiction webinar how to do it. You have to. This is why sometimes you get attacked and you don't know why when you cross into someone else's territory. You probably don't belong there and don't know it. You have the power to shut them down, but don't do it. So if you're interested in any of those, executive.assistant@somaliabrown.com. Tell her exactly what you want by name, and then she will send it to you. So, no other well, let me see. Let's see. There was a lady on TikTok who took her son off of food with food coloring. She said she went through withdrawals and then became suicidal at 70. Look, that's a whole nother conversation. My daughter was born with eczema, and I was like, no, we're not having this. First, I didn't come into agreement with it. And then I said, all right, I did my research. It's definitely food dye, especially red and blue and yellow. You don't want those. Um, ADHD is linked to that. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. It's chemicals. Look at what the chemical is. Some of it's petroleum, some of it's gasoline, some of it is formaldehyde. I mean, these are some serious chemicals that's in our food. Cereals, Fruit Loops, all them colorful cereals that kids eat every morning that aids their ADHD, ADD. But yes, took her off of, well, we weren't eating all that anyway, but I took her off of any meat, any and all meat, anything that has dye, anything that has color. And she hasn't had an outbreak since she was a baby, and she's 10. Now, the only time her body will start itching and inflaming is because I've been trying to give her a new soap. And all these soaps that say vegan, all these soaps that say natural, lies. Because I'll put it on her, she'll put it on, and she'll start itching as soon as she get out the tub. She's like, Mommy, nope, can't do that one. Because they don't tell you everything. But yes, her food intake completely eradicated it, and she changed. My son, the oldest one, they tried to say he had ADD. And I said, all right, cool. Me being me, I went and did research and I did a reverse prayer. That was one. But I also changed his food. And he outgrew whatever craziness he had as a young boy. Um, and that was changed. So your food, you have kids or you yourself, change your food. Literally go without certain foods for a while and you'll see it. That little boy was almost suicidal because it's withdrawal. I mean, it's the same as people who are addicted to morphine and those Vicodins, those narcotics. Where do they go? They go to a place, a facility, because yes, it's that strong. I'm gonna leave y'all with this: cheese. For those of y'all who love dairy, for those of y'all who love cheese, do some research. Cheese is opioids. Why you think you can't stop eating cheese? Cheese is highly addictive and it's like a hit to your brain when you eat cheese. I was addicted to cheese. Like what I don't eat dairy. I don't eat meat. I'm very, very strict on what I eat. And I'm flexible with it at times. And I could not get rid of cheese. I would just have it on my pizza. I would have pizza every once in a while, like a slice, and then I would have it on my salad in the very beginning. And I had a dream. An angel came to me and said, "We can't eat cheese." And I'm like, "Who's we? What are you talking about?" He's like, "We can't eat cheese." I was like, "What do you mean?" And it left. And I was like, "Okay, if you done sent an angel to tell me to stop eating cheese, it must be bad." So I did research. Cheese is an opioid. Opioids are horrible. It is so addictive. That's why half of you that like cheese, it messes with your stomach. You know you're lactose, but you still eat it because it's when you don't eat it, you're good. You take a little piece, you want more and more and more. It's addictive. There's a chemical in it. So I need y'all to just open your eyes. That's what I do. I disrupt systems. I'm a disruptor of systems. Educational system. My mountain is media, arts, and entertainment. I am called to celebrities. I am called to that arena, exposing it. All of us have a mountain that we're called to expose. All of us have a mountain we're called to disrupt and dismantle. Okay. Mine is definitely arts, entertainment, and media, and the food system. Because half of us are sick, are overweight, have diseases because of what you're eating. If you take certain things out one by one, you'll start to see your entire face change, your hair grow back, your skin glow again, and the weight will just fall off. Processed foods, oh my God. Like that's a whole nother rabbit hole. We're not gonna go down there. But what'd you say, Rotel? Big deal during most celebrations. Yep. That's what she said. My wife's lipstick that had formaldehyde in it. I told her that's for the dead people. She instantly, yep. Fat whale blubber. It's look, when I tell you, we trust them too much. We trust them too much with our body. Start doing your research. Everything that I shampoo, clean. If I buy shampoo, it's clean. And I'm not saying just vegan. I said clean. Clean means there's no chemicals in it. Okay. And again, all of this is to dim your connection to God. All of this blocks your spiritual connection. Sugar is the number one culprit. Why you think sugar is in everything that doesn't need to be in? I make bread from scratch. I don't put sugar in my bread. You don't need it. But there is, what is it? High fructose corn syrup in bread. You don't need it. But what does it do? It blocks your receptors. It blocks your discernment, which is why when people join the inner courts in my community and the first 6 months, that's the first thing. I've had people cuss me out. No lie. What? You want me to give up sugar, girl? I'm addicted to sugar. I said, exactly. And they went through withdrawals. And the connection that they actually saw with God, they were like, wow, I cannot believe. I mean, one lady literally had at 40, I think she said she has bridges and she has false teeth because she loves sugar so much. She was like, there's no way I ever thought I'd give up sugar, thank you. Because for 3 months. That was a 3 month thing we did, a 3 month off fast, and we had no sugar. And she went through it. But she said, I've never experienced God the way I experienced him in those 3 months because of everything else that we did with it. I'm telling you, you want to experience God on another level? Change your food. You want to experience your spiritual heightened gifts on another level? Change everything you've been doing because you've been lied to. Do your research. Read the labels. If your label, my kids know when they say, Mommy, can we try this? Turn it around. The line, can't even talk. The laundry list just to make it, my son will be like, oh no. If we can't read it, we don't eat it. If I cannot pronounce it, I'm not putting it in my body. Just randomly pick up something in your house and look it up. You'll see it's for gardening. You'll see it's to clean the tub in our foods. Because FDA says, oh, a small amount won't hurt you. But do we eat in small quantities? No. So, yeah, that's a whole look, you guys. If any of you guys are ever interested in joining the community, the World Changers community, or the inner courts, we dive real deep into that. The water that we drink, oh my God, totally transform your life. We drink living water and we eat our water. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Totally different than what you guys are normally drinking and eating. Yes, there's a such thing as living water and eating your water. Never heard of that in school. Maybe if you went to biology and went all the way through college, maybe. But there's so many things. Okay? And that's what a world changer is. I'm a researcher and I'm going to dig until I'm full and satisfied. And then I give it to you. I regurgitate it back to you so that you can learn. Because maybe when I was 25, an angel came to me and said, you cannot eat everything they put in front of you. Because that's when I was eating pork. I was eating whatever. I didn't know any better. And the angel said, you can't eat everything that's in front of you. And I was just like, huh? You cannot eat everything that's in front of you. And I was like, what does that mean? And he left. And from then, I've been on this journey like, okay, so let me start questioning. I was eating McDonald's, all of that. All of that. Immediately stopped. Cold turkey with a lot of things except for pork. So for those of you who may be feeling kind of ask the Holy Spirit to take the taste out of your mouth. That's it. You're not addictive. You're not. Holy Spirit can give you the power to do it. I promise you, because he did it for me. So Chris said, since listening to you, I now carry a pen and pad in my pocket with me. Yep. Because now you're aware. And that's what I do. You're now aware. So you see, you've opened your eyes. That's a mindset shift. Thank you for saying that. What I do is give you a paradigm shift and a mindset shift. Before, we just walk through life on automation, walk through life like nothing. But now that you're now aware and you're paying attention, you're slowing down. Now you're going to start catching billboards are speaking to you, stop signs, the area, the street sign, the car next to you has a sign on it. And you're now able, because you're no longer on autopilot. See, this world banks on us being on autopilot, which is why you have the world you have. You create it over and over. Like, I would never create this world. It's horrible. I'm miserable. I don't have this. I don't have that. But you are creating it because you're on autopilot. When you become aware, like Chris said, and now you're writing down and you're paying attention, that's when you're actively engaging in your reality. And that's what these rooms do. Yes, programmed us from young. And I'm telling you, my kids, they're not even programmed whatsoever. They go to school and come back and be like, Mommy, this? Nope. And we sit down and I tell them 100% Halloween, tell them everything about Halloween. My kids know. No, we don't do that. That's the devil's holiday. That's the high holy day of the devil. We don't, or the kingdom of darkness. We don't mess with that. And they're 8, 10, and 12. They know the real. They know the real. So Venus said, I want to see your food option. Absolutely. We can definitely do something. But yes, people, thank you so much. I hope this has helped you guys. One, with the angel prosperity. Two, with shifting your mindset on what you eat. It just small shifts like that. It doesn't have to be drastic. You don't have to throw away everything in your refrigerator. Step but 1% better than yesterday. I'm an athlete. Okay. You can't get great in one day. Don't get overwhelmed with all the information that I do release, that you already are looking into. Get 1% better a day. That's it. What does that look like for you? For me, that's making sure I work out every day. For you, it could be making sure you drink your water. Start with that. Start looking into water, because a lot of you will notice the water that you drink is dead. It's straight up, especially if you're drinking tap water. Oh my God, there is nothing in that water. Then there's all the water bottles on the on the shelves. Which one? How do we know? Do your research. Sometimes it depends if the Holy Spirit is working through me. Yes, yes, yes. You can send it to executive.assistant and I'll take a look at it if you want. You can email her. Um, so yeah, just get 1% better a day. That's my motto. If you did something different than yesterday, you're in good shape. If you stop eating something from yesterday, you're in great shape. Okay? Don't get overwhelmed. This is not the season to get overwhelmed. You just got an angel of prosperity released into your life. Please don't get overwhelmed. I need you to work with that angel, and I need you to do what that he's going to give you the mysteries of this world. He's going to give you the secrets of God. But again, it comes with a high cost. He's the Lord of abundance. He's going to give you abundance. But again, a lot of the things in the word are conditional. If you do this, I'll do that. So make sure you're doing your part, whatever your part is. I don't know, but he will let you know. Okay? You're going to have dreams, you're going to feel things, you're going to sense things. He's intense, he moves with flames. So pay attention. All right? All right, you guys have an amazing day. I'll be back again tomorrow. This room is 8 o'clock every morning, between 8 and 8:10 every morning on Clubhouse Wisdom. Today I was on YouTube. This will not have a replay. These two replays will be removed, just letting you know. So if you need those questions, email executive.assistant for the resource card for the Angel of Prosperity that was released today, and she will email it to you within 24 to 48 hours. I will try to get her to send it to you ASAP because it's important, because in 2 days there's a huge cosmic shift. So if you are just now meeting me, I have an anointing that is beyond the Issachar anointing. It's the cosmic Issachar anointing. It is with the cosmos, the heavenly realms, and we have a huge shift in 2 days. So if you don't come tomorrow, I advise you to meet me back here on the 20th. I advise you to meet me here tomorrow and the 20th because it's going to be huge. Okay? It's huge, it's intense, but it's needed. We need this. This is ushering in a new wave of God's children, a new wave of power. Don't miss it. All right. This room and this live is closing. No questions, no comments. I don't see anything in the chat on either platform. In 3, 2, and 1. Have an amazing, amazing afternoon and keep shifting with me, you guys.